Once upon a time, there was a woman by the name Mary. She lived a good life along with her husband Birch and their daughter Violet. Everything was fine until the creatures of the dark forest began to consume what was within the forest. One night, there was a loud and horrifying scream near their house, in which awakened Violet. Out of curiosity, she went out to go see what the terrifying sound was. As her small feet made the sounds of pitter-patter, she heard weird things and felt as if she was being washed. Along going downhill through a path, she found a small cloth near a big tree with the initials ES. Violet walked around the tree and found a woman with a huge bite mark along her neck. She went to go take a closer look, then heard a growl. She looked up and saw a shadow hurtling towards her. As the shadow got closer, with sharp claws and sharp teeth in midair, she sees her father leap and tackle the beast and says, "Run!" while going downhill with it in his arms. Violet quickly turned around, running back home with tears in her eyes. While hearing the groans and yells, there was one final yell, then there was silence. Violet then looks up and sees a red shadow along the trees, and out of terror, she screams, and hears a voice.
It's okay, we'll be here behind you, you're safe now.
Violet continues to run and yells.
Leave me alone.
She approaches her house and sees her mother on the doorframe. Violet runs towards her mother with open arms and hugs her tightly, crying. Mother looks into the woods and sees a red shadow amongst the trees. She takes Violet inside and makes sure there's nothing behind her, and closes the door. Minutes later, she hears a bang on the door. Mary grabs a dagger, ready for what was to come. She opens the door and sees her husband, exhausted and bloody. Birch collapses and says, I want you two to know that I love you both. He looks at Violet and says, "So beautiful, my loving daughter." Tear fills his eyes. While taking his last breath, he looks at Mary and says, "You're coming. You need to take our daughter to the Mary and Violet burst into tears. Mary brushes her husband's hair, but it didn't feel the same. She grabs a bottle of moonshine, a small pinch of bone powder, and fire dust. From there, she cuts a bit of her husband's hair. Violet was confused on what her mother was doing to her father, so she explained.
Using all these elements, it will tell me what was out there. If the moonshine comes out a certain color, then it will tell me what did this to your father.
She begins the process, one by one, step by step, to what caused this. As she finished up, she examined the color of the moonshine was turning.
Blue?
She said in a shocking tone of voice.
Blue? What does blue mean?
Then there was another bang on the door. The girls look back at the door. Mary grabs a dagger as she comes close to the door. The door breaks wide open, and the shadows was the creature, full of fur. It growls as it starts to chase us. We were defenseless until Birch grabs the creature's legs and yells.
Now.
The red shadow appears, distracting the creature. The shadow with the feminine voice yells.
Go now, go to the temple and give this to Dimitri.
The girls flee the house, running deeper into the dark woods as the forest creatures follow them.